Awesome, guys. So today we're trying a different hangout. It's not the stage because we want to share with you, do some screen sharing. So that's why we're doing it a bit different for the 16th community call. So thank you everybody for joining us. Always great to see familiar avatars here following BabelFish's progress. So it's 4 months since we are on mainnet, nearly 2 months since we had the pre-sale, and so we're just starting this marathon, right? It's definitely a marathon what we're doing, more than a sprint. We're here for the long term, and we're just really excited to be moving together in this journey with you. The main update that I want to share with you guys, and that I want to share the screen here to begin with, it's that finally we expect governance to be up this week, so that we can start voting on proposals that are already being discussed in the forum. So it's a pretty minimal design that we have right now. I will just start with how the deposits and withdrawals work. Pretty similar. If you're coming from Ethereum or from Binance or RSK in this case, and soon many more, like we expect to fill this whole square. You select it, and then you select the respective stablecoin that you want. Put in there the amount that you need, and then you deposit it. Pretty simple, very minimal, 4 steps. Here you will receive the details of what the transaction is, as well as some fees for the transaction, as well as some bridge fees that will depend on the bridge that's being used. And then simply minting would be complete, and you will be able to see the receipts for this, both for the parent chain and then the origin chain if you're going to RSK. Pretty simple, and then the same would be repeated if you want to redeem. So pretty simple interface. And once this is live, which this part for the application we actually expected to take a few more weeks, what we are focusing here is documentation. So the person that's the team that is helping BabelFish to deliver this will also help us create documentation, so that other bridges that want to add BabelFish outside of RSK, as well as protocols within RSK that want to add XUSD, for them to be able to integrate it with their interface. So that's on that end, and that's what our focus is, sort of like on the front end. And what's expected this week is really cool. This, again, our governance, it's a fork of Bitocracy. So just like we had a little issue on the airdrop because we had some calculation errors with the voting weights, etc. We really like Bitocracy, and they're sort of like the quadratic example that they're putting on. So we're learning with them, and this being a fork, it also looks very similar. And what we expect to be doing this, there are some proposals. If you go to forum.babelfish, that money, there's already some proposals there that will start. That conversation will become more active as soon as we publicly announce in social that we have the governance app. And basically, we will rely on the dolphins of BabelFish, which is basically dolphins. Is to remind you, are just the team leaders that we have to help steward the priorities of the votes at the beginning. So we are thinking, if you can mute yourself, I'm going to mute you, DeFi Yogi, and then we will open again for questions. So we have in here certain things that we were already brainstorming here, mostly amongst the dolphins. What we have, like an idea of the first things that we want to vote on, it's start the foundation for the rBTC insurance fund pool. This basically would be sort of potentially our first vote, just to set up some of the funds raised from the pre-sale for insurance in case something horrible were to happen. And then this would also be the fund that once we have a savings product, lending product, it will also accrue to this fund. We just want to set it up ASAP, just for increased trust. And then the other things that we're thinking about that really matter just for expansion are like stablecoin stablecoin additions, and these are likely to happen through bounties. And we will talk about these bounties, for example, stablecoin DAO to DAO partnerships or stablecoin research. We're also evaluating with some partners the possibility of helping us provide an amount of rBTC for transactions, first transactions from new wallets that are over $75, give them enough rBTC to be able to move their stablecoins around. These are just sort of like short, easy wins that we can vote on, and these are what Dolphins are expecting to put up in the coming days. We will also be proposing an upgrade to add curves into the stablecoin baskets that we have to incentivize or disincentivize certain stablecoin deposits with economic incentives. And then also pretty soon we expect to have, which is really exciting, governance staking and liquidity mining rewards. And that's really cool. So for example, like if you're familiar with sovereign Bitocracy, when you go to stake, the longer that you stake your tokens for, and then the bigger the amount based on that function, quadratic governance, you get a certain amount of voting weight. And what we're looking forward to add into the staking mechanism here, it's to also give some rewards based on the voting weight. So these are the things that we are expecting in the short term to happen. And so we really wanted to share this. It's really cool, and the progress that it's happening, it's a bit slow, but we're excited about where it's going, and we're particularly excited to see the documentation that will enable other protocols in RSK or different bridges from different chains to integrate with us, and just putting the focus in there. It's loading a bit slow now. But pretty similar to the way that it works on Bitocracy. They also open sourced their UI, which is pretty neat. And that's kind of like in summary where we are with the front end. So thank you for bearing with us on that end. And then next things that I wanted to share with you guys, which is really important, and it's the whole the whole value of our community. It's bounties, right? So there were some. So we've paid all of the bounties that were due for until the end of August, and then the bounties that are due for September, as well as the ones for October, most likely. So the ones for September will be paid on the first week of November without vesting. And we're likely also to not have vesting for the bounties that are due for this month on October. So that's something really cool to know. We are likely to begin implementing a vesting schedule for bounties beginning either in November or December. And this would be a 6 months vesting. So it's really cool to be, if you can get involved in a bounty, in October, it's potentially a better idea because, after October, it's likely that in November, we will begin adding 6 months vesting to bounties that are, relatively large, just to be careful with our treasury. So that's on that end. And, on the bounties, things that have been happening from the bounties and from the community taking, leadership and, ownership. We are still having the Covalent hackathon that's still running. We had some cool submissions for a stablecoin dashboard just to visualize stablecoin metrics on the RSK network. We also gave a speech during the hackathon there, or a little presentation. There was also an AMA with a Japanese community, which was really cool. And we can, maybe if the participants on that AMA want to share later their experiences there, feel free to join. So we're looking forward, to do just as we expect to add more stable coins, as mentioned on governance. We really want more people to take initiative on stablecoin DAO to DAO partnerships or AMAs with stablecoins. Right now, some of the ongoing stablecoin bounties that are happening, there's someone that's doing just stablecoin ecosystem general research. It's a pretty cool, very informative spreadsheet with like 20 different variables across the stablecoin ecosystem. So we will share that as soon as it has some meat to it. We've also had people that have submitted very cool research on TrueUSD, just potentially to propose it to be added soon with good research. This same person is doing research for Terra, and we think that this first stablecoin research bounties will set sort of like a standard or like a template for future stablecoin research. So that's really cool. We have someone else that's taking on a stablecoin specific bounty, which is to do like a stablecoin weekly news roundup to keep our community educated about the most important things happening in the ecosystem and how they may affect BabelFish. Yeah, and then the most important bounty that's still up there for grabs. It's we're looking for a development team dolphin, so a team leader for the dev school. And there's a bounty there. So even if you don't think that if you're in this call and maybe you don't think that you're capable of being like a lead of the tech team, but someone that could, a successful referral bounty is also added in there for 42,000 fish. So that's about, it's a large amount, 42,000 fish for a successful dev team candidate referral. And yeah, also looking for social media. So we will be reaching out to some of you that have detailed social medias, like the skill that you can provide, just to start rolling forward there with our treasury. And yeah, I think those are the main things. We need to keep on improving on communications with bounties. And now that we have the DAO as well, with the forum, it's really important that we keep getting better at it. And
okay,
my call here would be to participate in bounties as much as possible, and together we can really do some really cool things in a distributed way. And yeah, with that, I think I would like to open it up. I don't know if Hyde, if you want to mention something regarding the stablecoin bounties that we have, or how your experience was with the Japanese AMA. Else we can open it up for questions.
Yeah, okay. And I will then shortly update you on the research. We've got a research from Xiri, who made a research on TrueUSD. It will be put on the forum and on our channels shortly, and on our webpage. And yeah, we have also another stablecoin research. It's just specific stablecoin with the spreadsheet. So it requires like weekly or every 2 weeks updating the data on the spreadsheet. This will be also visible for the whole community. And the same person is going to do another bounty, like a weekly update of the community with the stablecoin news and highlights. And we had other participants willing to participate in this bounty, and I would like to say thank you to them. And although they, we have chosen different person. So it's Zacharias who is going to do those bounties. I would like to say thank you to Ratchet and thank you to Forest Angel for what they provided us as a sample of their work. And yeah, they will receive also a small bounty reward. It was something that is just extra for them, 200 fish for each of them. And for the stablecoin research, Xiri receives like 2,520 fish, I believe. Yeah. Maybe Flame would like to tell a little bit about this Japanese AMA.
Yeah, hello, good evening. So last week on Thursday, we had a little AMA with a Japanese community called Sakura. Yeah, I think it was a great experience for us. It grew our small Japanese community in Telegram. So that's why you might have noticed the inflow of Japanese people in the main channel as well. But it was a little marketing idea to grow our international community and open it up for them as well. I think that sums it up pretty well.
Yeah, and I think if you have also some ideas for other AMAs, you can just reach out to us and let us know with which community we could contact, and then try to establish something.
Yeah, exactly. I think we can open it up for questions, right?
Yes, I see DeFi Yogi's typing. I just unmuted you because before there was some background noise.
You guys, would you like me to demo a little bit of Babelverse gameplay in the background while the questions are coming in?
Yeah, that'd be neat. And then, yeah, let's try to aim, questions. Let's try to exactly keep it, open for 10 more minutes for the recording and for people to jump into questions. But yeah, if you can stream that meantime, I think it would be cool for all of us to see the Babelverse.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, I'm just going to be poking around on this prototype build. So yeah, I'll just talk about it really quickly for a minute. But here's the fish tank. Anyone who's following I should be sharing now, so let me know if you can't see my stream. But here's all the fish that I've minted already inside of my wallet. And then I can go ahead and select the fish I want. There's a little, a few bugs and stuff here, but that needs to get fixed up. Then I'm warping in, and this will launch me. And I don't know if you guys can hear the audio. I assume probably not, but there's some cool audio stuff going on too.
We can't hear the audio, but again, this looks really cool. And the idea here, it's similar to projects like Avalanche. They have like Aave, right? And the idea is that these are other ways to reach community, to even educate. More importantly, also younger people. Yeah, if you can talk a bit about that, that'd be great. I mean, the games itself, I know there's like 4 games in it. That's pretty cool. But yeah, if you want to share a bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're just having so much fun in this prototyping phase. We allotted 2 months of rapid prototyping to really explore the pipeline of development that we wanted to pursue, and also kind of the functionalities that we like. So we've come up with a few kind of key elements that we think will be engaging for our community. Right now, as I just entered this DeFi dojo area, a little mix is coming on in my headphones that has this sort of ninja-inspired sound effects in it. And you can kind of jump around the dojo and see, I think this is Japanese for fish here. I think Dragon Bro added those. And there's some armor and swords. And this stuff doesn't have functionality at this time, but Fish Toshi is also going to get redesigned. Fish Toshi's going to be more like probably like the one that Wakwa did. But yeah, so the idea is here, this is sort of like the main NPC who we talk to, who we develop through our crypto and blockchain and stablecoin education modules with. And then we can jump over to the arcade and we can play some individual mini games. In the meantime, over here in between the two, there are these bulletin boards that have all kinds of cool bounties and things to promote the various games, and objectives within the game, but also for things like in the community, like we've talked about on this call, even bounties that are ongoing for the community. So we can go in here and would you like to play Trawl Invaders? And you can see we've now implemented a high score sheet. So no, I don't want to play Trawl Invaders because I don't have a high score on it. Let's see where President Fish Washington has a high score. Here we go. President George Washington. That's me. Top of the list on Slappy Fish. If anyone... oh, there's new music in here too. I wish you guys could hear this. It's actually pretty cool.
But Novaks, and this is also like this will be like a request for a grant also through the forum and then through the governance, right?
Yeah, that's right. So as I'm clicking through this iteration of Slappy Fish, you'll see that these mini games have not been built out to the depth of complexity and with multiple levels. This is really intended to be a sampling for our community of the types of game mechanics that we can easily build upon. But it takes a budget and time to really develop things out. So our objective was really to provide in the space of 2 months, this sort of buffet of options that we can then prioritize. And yeah, that will be through a grant on the forum. We're going to construct a Babelverse funding grant. And we've been working on refining those details and understanding the parameters. That's part of the prototyping, is getting a sense of, and I died, is getting a sense of how, how much time and effort it really takes to implement some of these things, and the ways that we can do that most efficiently. Dragon Bro is a young, energetic guy who's building quite a bit of what you see here. So we're just continually impressed with what he's able to do. But I think Galactic Cyclist is on the call too, and maybe he can talk a little bit about the development end and kind of stitching some of this stuff together. I don't know, Cyclist, if you want to pop in and talk while I'm jumping around the Babelverse, but people might appreciate hearing your perspective on some of this.
I would like to actually take some time to talk about it, but it's an early release day for my kids at school, and I'm about to go pick my son up, so I am about to go out the door. I was listening from the other room.
Oh, cool. No worries. Yeah, well, we're going to stream this week. So
I'll make sure to be on the next call, though, and talk a little bit more about it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going into the gallery right now so everyone can see the gallery. And it's just cool because we're doing so much. And Galactic Cyclist is just really just so gifted of a developer. He's very, very experienced. And so it's just essential to have his all of his gifting on this. I mean, he's really the heart and soul of the development on some of this stuff, and it's every day there's something new and more spectacular happening here. So I appreciate all the eyes on it, looking at it, and if you guys want to play it and stuff, that's coming soon. Two
things to add here while you're showing this. When is the Babelverse call for people that are interested in NFTs and gaming? And two, just to bring the call to a close, maybe you want to share this video for for the governance, since we talked a lot about governance on this call. It'd be great to see that little clip.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that's over in the Story School group, and I'm not sure if it's kind of buried in there, but I'll try and find it right now. It's a great video that I'm going to close Babelverse because the music is in my ears pretty loud. But the video animation of the governance building that DeFi Yogi put together is very, very cool. I mean, it's really high poly though. And so for Babelverse, we're looking at ways to kind of streamline so that it's not too resource intensive. But we're finding that there's some great options here. I don't know if am I missing it here, guys? Maybe you guys can look in the Story School.
I just shared it. Link,
oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, here we go. I wish you could hear the music too. I've been working on some synthwave techno stuff with my new MIDI controller, but hopefully this will start. Can you guys see this video? It's not showing for me. Probably
no.
Not. Okay. Well, maybe what I'll do is maybe I'll just kind of end the share, and then if somebody else wants to try, I think I might be having an issue where it's just not sharing or not playing. So I would have to download it and then
maybe the one right above it. Here, I'll share with you again. If not, then yeah, it's on that channel. And how can people join the next call tomorrow? People that are interested in the NFT gaming side, Novax?
Yeah, I think anyone who wants to get involved, the best thing to do is just reach out in the general chat and let us know you want to be part of the Story School, and we'll include you on the Story School. And then before I stream, I'll usually just send a message. We have some standing meetings on Tuesday and Thursday that we do. They're a little bit more kind of intensive, and we keep them somewhat private so that we can just stay focused. But we are gradually opening up more and more, and I'm set up to restream to Twitch and YouTube and Odyssey and D Live and whatever else. So the objective here is, as we become more comfortable, sharing out some of what we're doing in that more public way, that will also be kind of just streaming, and we have chat overlay and streaming alerts and all kinds of stuff already configured. So just going to be rolling that out as we're launching the game and making it playable for everyone. So we're really excited about your guys' feedback on it, though. So as soon as you guys are able to get in there and tool around and play and get on the high scoreboards and stuff, please just let us know what you want, because that's the whole thing. We want to build this for you guys, exactly to your specs. Like what do you love and what classic video games excite you, and most importantly, how do we tie that all to blockchain education and provide the functionalities for the things that we're doing natively as a community, like governance and forum, but to immerse ourselves in a little mini metaverse that's our own.
Awesome. I found the video. I'll just share it quickly because I think it's really cool to share it. We were talking about governance, how this fits with metaverse. So can you guys see my screen?
I just stopped sharing, so maybe try to share again in case. You might be good though. Let me check.
Can you guys see my player?
Yeah.
Oh, we can hear your music too.
So yeah, it's a cute little detail, but yeah, it's cool to share that, combining, how can we govern the protocol and also combine it in a fun game. So awesome to share that with you guys. Again, there's more bounties in there. Some of the bounties that we shared with you here today, many of them, they were not spec'd out or detailed, and people just filled the join form. They detailed it there, or they just reached out directly to Novax, Hyde, Flametail, or myself. Initiated a conversation and found a place, to be rewarded, whether in a recurring basis or just by doing one deliverable, which we call the Space Invader bounty. So yeah, I guess that's the focus as always. And yeah, I think we don't see many questions in the chat, but if you feel like jumping in, now it's the time. Else we will be adjourning the call shortly.
If you have a question, please unmute yourself and say your name so we know who's asking.
All right. Well, it's always similar, like on Mondays, I think, people are starting the week, like we always say, we're all focused on many projects. One more thing, I'm seeing here a direct question and private message. Do we want to mention what were the people participation in the forum discussion? Yeah, so I think, in the same way that we're coming up with bounties, there's community members that are suggesting also sort of rewards to increase participation, for example, in the forum, or even to increase debate and good questions in these calls. So that's also something that we're evaluating, and also looking into POAPs. Maybe POAPs could be a good way to then exchange them, in the Babelverse somehow. So these are very early ideas. Again, if you feel like that's the push that you would need to participate, you feel like, providing insightful questions or answers, or, proposals, comments on forums, you feel like that may require some sort of incentives, also let us know. We're all figuring it out together. So know that as well. Because yeah, it's all up to us, guys. So thank you again for being in this meeting. It's always great to share with you the progress that we're making. We really appreciate your support and your patience. And yeah, we want to work more closely with you. So yeah, I think that's it for this call. I think we can adjourn it, stop the recording, and we will stay another 5 minutes here if you just want to ask a question without being recorded.